There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers are giving us here and the promise of them. The work with my life without fear.
I lyrical
Master.
Clear body so make you I can't Sktv benyo. Say my cheni tina ke ase my jamu. Engi sano muni emu aye yo. Engi lofa muni emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could buy ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could buy ya to money, and I forget it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I forget it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, Sano to Backbaloo, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, Sktv, we are the best. Good afternoon to our listeners. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you, our dear cherry listeners. Those of you always burning your batteries, your data, and making sure that you follow us. Indeed, you are the best. You are the kind of, I don't even know what kind of flower to give to you, because it's not easy though to follow other people while they are talking. Sometimes you listen to them, some of the things that they are saying, what is in your interest, because mind you, there are a lot of us who love to talk about interest. Everything is about interest, things that we in fact, that we benefit from, right? So again, people, good evening. Help us share the show. It's good to be here on the 2nd of March. For a matter of fact, the 10th month, the year we the same, 2026. So that means we are marching into 2026 by the help of God. Yes, indeed, it's good to march in. We are marching in. And thank you for joining us to march in also with the year 2026. So time wait for no man, as usual. Time wait for no man. That's why when you are given the time to serve well, use all of the best of opportunity to serve your people and take good care of your people. So thank you, people. Good evening, good afternoon. So many things to talk about. Beginning the weekend. Yeah, the weekend was juicy with so many news, so many things happening. I saw some video about our speaker staying into the news. Speaker, yeah, this speaker, I love about. So alleged that the speaker is some kind of wahala, and I'm also getting confirmed news that they have finally settled the debts of that individual. Yeah, hello, Yvonne. Thank you for joining us. Good evening to you, Yvonne. And Mustafa Balo. Also, all of you who are joining us, help us share the show, people. It's good to be back. In fact, especially the 10th month. Today is the second day in the 10th month. That means today marks day 2 in the month of March. So many things our country. We have to talk about economic things. Things are happening. our lives around the world, the tension around the world, building up, back to back, what going on around the world. All these things we'll be talking about, all these things today, people. So help us share the show. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, let me make some. Yeah, help us share the show. The show will be interesting. Monk will be here very soon. But Ali will also join us here this evening on the show. To all of our Muslim brothers and sisters, let me say yes indeed also to all those of you, the real one though. I say we have the real Christian, we have the I'm a Christian. So to our real Muslim brothers and sisters who are fasting and who are making sure that they connect themselves to God, because there are two things. Sometimes people, we just use the name of God to do so many things, especially the religion. We use the religion to do all kinds of things. You say, yeah, God. No. So those of you who are genuinely serving God, who are praying on behalf of our society, on behalf of the nation, around the world, things happening, those of you who are praying with genuine prayers, I want to say yes, indeed, I give it up to all of you. I also sending my strength through the help of God to you, all of you, so that you'll be more stronger in praying and fasting. Yes, that's the best way to go. When you fast, anytime you fast, some of you, I don't know, anytime when you are fasting, you are communicating and you are giving room so that you and God can communicate directly, the high look. Because you don't want anything to be interfering with the flesh too much, and so it's a spiritual thing. So that's why when you are fasting, there's so many things that you have to avoid. So good evening, Mark will be here, but maybe I don't know whether you want to come on today because the show will be too interesting. Benitia say hi, Mabon. Follow you from Jacobstown. Yeah, thank you so much, Benitia. Those of you who are watching, thank you. Those of you who are also sharing the show, thank you so much. It's getting interesting. Our country is indeed getting interesting day by day. The president, the government has finally now, as you may call, finally now transitions from the Ministry of Internal Affairs down to the Ministry of Local Government. And the local government now, there are reappointments of some people, including Mark B. Jabatel, and my brother, Mark B. Jabatel, also have been appointed as Assistant Minister for Peace Building. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, it's about that life. So we got to go. People, help us share the show. I'm doing that. Mom will be here very, very soon. Some of you who are requesting for so many things about the video, your speaker, and in fact, the former speaker to also attend the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia placed freeze, or what we call hot, onto the Assam case and call for I think hearing between the lower court, I think that criminal court A, and that of the Supreme Court. I think the hearing will be sometime this week. If that hearing go on, then that means if anything happens from that hearing, either whether the case will continue or the case, maybe there'll be some procedural error, and we'll know along the way, because the people who are being accused, they went to court and they said that the way the case going, they don't understanding it. How come the prosecuting arm are saying that they don't want jurors anymore, or in fact they want to even transfer the case from where the case were to another place? So again, all of these things happening behind the scene. Monk is here already. Let me bring Monk on the show here this evening. Monk, my brother, good evening, good morning, good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm getting you. Go ahead. Good evening, my brother. Good afternoon. All right. So is the Monk setting up? Yeah, Monk, I'm getting you. I want to know about you.
All right. You hearing me, right?
Yes, I'm getting you, Monk. I'm getting you loud and clear.
Okay, that's great. I think I'm hearing you too for now.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So speaking to you, I said good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to you. What's up?
Man, I'm doing great. Thank God to be alive another day. Today is our second day of the third month. In Ethiopia, I say 2019. They got original calendar. We using the Gregorian calendar, and we in 2026, March 2nd, just the beginning of the year, the first quarter in the year. So it's good to be alive. It's good to be here. A lot happening around the world and at home. I saw some video about a Liberian brother that was killed in Ghana. I didn't get the full detail, but there was a lady who was giving like a first-hand account of the situation that happened in Ghana. And I think he died on his way to the hospital from maybe internal bleeding because he was attacked. I don't know if we'll have time to play that video for the audience, but they got a video circulating online now. But a lot to cover, and the late representative from District Number 7, Solomon George, also, I mean, we have reached this toxic level of politics in our country where everything that happened, people want to play politics for it instead of investigating whether it was even the medical condition. And I see people coming up with video trying to justify. Sometimes when I say that, I keep contemplating if we are making any progress in society. Sometimes you just want to quit. I believe that sometimes someday it feel like a waste of time. But then when you take a deep reflection again, be like, you know what, we sign up for this. But many days I can contemplate because I always say the people who you expect to know better, when you see them making decisions, you can't even believe it. So why should I expect the common people to be the one that will transform the country or think in a whole different way? When the one that travels, the one that claim to be educated, the one that's supposed to be able to do some rational and deep thinking, when they make decisions like some village people, it kind of disheartening. But that's where we find ourselves. I don't know. I think Ali will be here later, or I don't know. We got so many issues to cover, and we'll talk about what's happening in Iran, how it might impact, and the lesson. People when they follow the news, they're not looking at the online factor that led to what's happening now. Everybody just reacting, oh, breaking news. Yeah, you know that we live in a generation where people are mostly interested in comment, like, and share than going in depth to understand as to what's happening. But it's good to be here, so it's up to you.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Mark. Like you, in fact, you said something about some of our people. Like on today, I was also saying similar thing like that today on the radio about sometimes more unknown to us. Sometimes these are contractors or these are some of the engineers here today who are building some of the roads. Sometimes, no, I don't know who vetting them. But at the end of the day, you will see that maybe, or in fact, you even notice that some of them maybe may stop in 6th grade, or maybe they don't even high school graduate, but because they have that little knowledge of maybe something. So at the end of the day, you give them a contract, and these are people that are also controlling most of our people back home, who also claim to be having masters and PhD and so forth. And at the end of the day, more, then for example, I don't want to be only on the Chinese people, but more, have you one day come on wanted to notice that whether we have qualified Chinese people working for us? Do we really care to even ask or to even vet these people to know who are those people that are building our roads, that are building this, that are building that? Or because of their colors? Someone would think,
that's one thing. That's why I said on the show one time, I said, you cannot vet those people. You just got a perception that they are Chinese. The Chinese are not there for building. But not every Chinese can build. They got level, they got grade of construction. And the idea that just because he's a Chinese man, you're going to give you a contract. And the thing is, we're lacking some hands-on engineer. Look, the best generation of Labrador, they are gone, totally gone. Because I know that one thing, I haven't been on the planet long enough, but there are things that I saw prior to the war and during the war. I keep asking. 2 counties that I always look forward to when it comes to the issue of roads is Maryland County, in Harper, and Rival Sports. Because for me, I spent a lot of time over there going to play soccer. We were in high school, come from St. Mary's on a Friday, we'll go Cape Man. So I know almost all the little towns and villages in Cape Man growing up. But when you go to Rival Sport, even though there is no road leading to the city, but when you enter the city, all the roads are in tight and paved. The vast majority of them, in the heart of Rival Sport, and they were built with cement. So I used to ask myself, if these places were built in the 50s and 60s and they are still in tight, you are telling me now, roads that were constructed just 4 years ago, they are all getting. You see somebody get an Olympic-sized pool with water, like hole in it. We don't even call it one pothole, we call it one Olympic-sized pool. Because when you build a road, you got little pothole, that's what you call pothole, those little holes, okay. But when you see the road is totally divided, wherein your car can almost go into it, then that's an Olympic-sized pool. So I'll be like, okay, there's something that's not right. But there are two factors to it. They got some Chinese that train all some of the contractors. And on the other hand, you got some of your public officials that want to pay pennies on the dollar so that they can steal the rest of the money so that they can walk away with something in their pocket rather than putting it into road construction. So at the end of the day, you are always rehabilitating roads and rehabilitating. Even though you build a road, the duration of the road is not even up to 5 to 6 years. And then you spend the vast majority of the time, like the lady said, they always passionate road. They see old road, they see passionate. And guess what? You are spending more money because there's no quality. There's no good duration of the road lasting for a longer time. And every time we keep every emotion. That's why I say they never talk about road. The moment they get in power, they want to concentrate on road because what? It's the easiest way you can steal on an industrial scale in Labrador by engaging into road or passion or road construction because they will get kickbacks. And at the end of the day, we'll keep getting substandard, low quality road that we keep maintaining all the time.
Mark, let me ask you this question because we went into the war. We fought 14 years civil war before we can even go into another talking point. Mark, actually, the government always sending people outside to go and study. So, what the essence of you sending people outside to study, and when they come back, at the end of the day, we don't see them supervising that you just, and Mark, he said something very, very good. Mm-hmm. Most of the roads that we are building today, some of them go for 4 or 5 years. After the other time, most of the roads start to, they talking about what you use, but for us, we call it the potholes. You see the potholes all in between the roads. What kind of road these people are facing that every time we're giving them contracts, we're giving them money, but we have our own students, we have our own engineer that we're sending out of the country. I don't know, what are we moving forward, Mark? Or we are just moving backward? Because I don't understand the reason you can train people. That, for example, there's someone who say the reason today where you see Iran looking strong like that today because once upon a time America were there and they were using Iran also to do some kind of thing by them. Mm-hmm. So whenever people go into your town, for example, Mom, and bring some kind of idea, I thought you're going to see the idea and say, okay, now we'll work on the idea and maybe even in fact improve more on this idea. But for us, Mom, it's look like it's opposite. All of the road that we are building here today, Mom, everything at the end of the day, so after a few months, few times, even the RIA road now that they still building, still be on 24 hours.
Yeah, for years.
You will see potholes, you will see all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So who's vetting these people? Or are we just giving them contracts just because of kickbacks? Well,
the thing is, some of your lawmakers that are even partners and shareholders in most of these fake companies that keep creating overnight for road construction so they can get kickbacks and award themselves contracts when you come to the procurement procedure as well. And you said it right. Who's vetting? The thing is, when you go to school for construction and civil engineering, at the end of the day, you still need hands-on experience. You know, you need to come on the field and work and get that experience. The more roads that you will build, the better you become. That's just what life is. Everything comes from practice. To become an expert in anything, you need thousands of hours of hands-on experience to know what you're doing. That's why I tell you guys on this show all the time. These days, this 21st century level of education, I don't buy into just a degree. You got to prove to me beyond all reasonable doubt that you are a master in your field before I can give you that respect. You don't have any hands-on experience. You come to some technical college, you spend 12 to 18 months, or maybe the most 3 years, you go back and you say that, oh, you got a master. You got a master, but you don't even have the basic understanding or knowledge. How are you going to do that? Because back in the days, we have people that are working with these companies like the Lamco, the LMC, the LP, all the companies that were in Labrador, they had engineers. Those people could repair yellow machines. We didn't need any foreign expertise to come and do that. But with the 21st century, you are not paying people decent wages. They come from overseas. They want to look for a job. Somebody even abandon their fee of study just to survive. They start doing something different. So what make you think it's not helping you? No hands-on experience. You don't have a generation that is there to us. You know, let me tell you something. When you come to this country, you go on any construction site, you will see two groups of people. You will see the older folks and the younger ones. The older ones are the ones with the hands-on experience. Maybe the energy is not as high as it used to be, but they are training the younger generation that they can transition. So at a certain point in time, those same young people will be the one to take over. In the case of Labrador, we cannot make that case. I bet if I were to come to Labrador now, I can look at 25 or I can say 50 to 100 experience level kind of an engineer that will be there supervising the younger one. Even when you come with a degree, you still need hands-on because they're talking about civil engineering and road construction. So, maybe we got a long way to go. But Ali, welcome to the show. You can pick it up from there. Ali, introduce yourself and we can get rolling.
Good afternoon from my end, Mabel. Good afternoon, Mong. Good afternoon to our listening audience and follow to our Liberian people. It was a nice weekend, beautiful week for me. I'm grateful to God. Today's real issue, for me, we are talking about the Chinese. Like I will always say, yes, we are giving contract road construction to the Chinese company, but I believe we're giving the contract to these people. What you pay for is what you get. And if you give them good money, if you do a good bidding process and you bring a good Chinese company, and you give them good money, and you are monitoring this role, what they said they are coming to do, I think we will get quality role. It's almost like today you see Liberia, we have a network problem every now and then. You will see them like doing the senatorial by-election in Nima County. They said they had a ship that were already to the port who were going to have network problem because they came to work on the fabric cable or where they put the PHP or what kind of pipe is they were sitting on the monument, all kind of thing. The monument were on the cable, so that's why we never had good network problem. But the ship that came and left today, we still have network problem. The service you pay for is what you get. Among you and I know here, if you go to cricket, you go to T-Mobile, you take $15 plan, you know how your internet connection will be. Then men are taking or $60 to $70 plan from T-Mobile or any other place. So when we bring those people in the country, we gave them the contract, the quality of road they gave us is based on the money that we gave to them. That's for me, that's why I believe. Because if you will spend good money on these people, you say this is the kind of road I want, and they tell you, okay, yeah, this is the money that can give you this kind of road, and you give it to them, I believe they are going to build your road up to that standard and that quality. So for me, it's not a contractor, but what you give them. And those people, they won't let them kick back again.
But are you,
for me, that's how I believe.
But I need to tell you what I mean, because there are some contracts, or in fact, there are some of rules sometimes they come in the form of a grant or the BB wallet you can be using and a loan or all kinds of things. But sometimes when the rules, sometimes the project come in the form of grant. Like for example, the Liberian government would not be giving them that physical cash though. But then at the same time, you will notice that you will still get the same kind of more work, the same kind of results.
Man, this whole thing is all about kickback. Our people will come, they will get kickback. Most of these lawmakers, they give the contract to these people. And again, they will give the money, they go behind the money. So what you expect? You will get poor quality of road. This is why you see we like that senior town road. How many times they face that play? Doing Manaseli 12 years. How many times they did face senior town road? Doing George we are 6 years. Baka is there. They are fixing it again. Let's just see in the next 6 years again, the next administration will go into face senior town road. Why you people should be spending millions of dollars on one road every administration, and after every 2-3 years you see them facing the road? Because they give the money to the people, they go back for it. You see, bring people, pay them good money, tell them this is how I want my road to be, like somebody just mentioned in the comment section. In Ghana, if they give you a road construction project to carry on, they give you 50% of your money. You carry on the road project. After 5 years, if they see that road is up to standard, there were no problem, they give you your ban on 50%. You see their own policy? So if they give you contract, you know what you're going to do, because you know if that road mess up, you are not going to get your ban on 50%. You see? But Liberia, they will give the contract to Monk, then they go behind Monk to take the money from him. What you expect Monk to do? He need to pay people, he get equipment and other things. Then he give you substandard road.
And at the end of the day, you also see so many people more into even money business. I don't even understand what kind of country.
Yeah, because that's why you get. That's why you got bidding process. When you into any concession agreement, when it comes to road buildings and stuff, that's why you need a portfolio for the company. A company will give you reference point, places that they have worked before, to go and inspect the quality of the road or the degree to which that road extended the time, right? Before you can even consider them to be part of the bidding process. Now, the whole idea of the bidding process is to pick the best. It's almost like you're a coach and you got a bunch of players. You got to know who will give you the best result before you can put them on the field. That's why you got a competitive bidding process. But when the competitive bidding process is corrupted by your own public officials, when some of them are the one that even owning these companies indirectly created them overnight to get kickbacks so that they can win the contract, then you won't get better quality of roads. So I understand it's not 100% of the time that the engineers or the Chinese company will say, oh, I can assume that every Chinese is an engineer, right? But equally so, when the Chinese man say, I got a construction company for road building, I know he got some kind of expertise before he can come up with a corporation or a company to run road construction. But the question is, the bidding process, the quality of the road, the kickback, you will never get better roads in Liberia. So everything comes to leadership. You will keep repairing roads until the retail will crash. It will never happen. You will never get good quality roads in Liberia.
Wonderful, Mark. Let's move back to the Western. Let's look at what's happening around the world and come back to Liberia, where we have seen, I don't know, our speaker paying some catch. I don't know for what purpose. We'll talk about that. Then maybe they'll go for the news break. But let's go back to what's happening around the world. Mark, give us some of the happening. We wake up Saturday morning, the 28th of February, with some news about war around the world, especially between the U.S., Israel, and Iran, now intensifying now across the entire Middle East.
Oh yeah, the Middle East is on fire. You know that like I said, all the breaking news happening. This is nothing new. We've been at war with Iran since 1979, when 52 American foreign service members were held captive for 444 good days, when the religious council took over a constitutional monarchy and decided to bring a theocracy to Iran. And since then, we have been going down the drain. But something major happened, and the media didn't cover it that much. It was the negotiation in Geneva, Switzerland, between Iran and other major Middle Eastern players. You know, Iran had always said they wanted a nuclear weapon, and America, like, be under no condition. You know, under the Shah, Iran signed non-nuclear proliferation treaty. You know, it was an international protocol wherein we want to reduce the number of countries that holds nuclear weapons for protection or guarantee economic packages. So there were some countries that voluntarily turned over the nuclear weapon just to be on, like South Korea. South Korea to be a nuclear power. Even South Africa to be a nuclear power, but they turned over. Even Ukraine, so they gave it a nuclear weapon. But with the exception of Iran, when the Ayatollah and his religious council came in, they withdrew from the international protocol. I think was in the early 70s, because they were members since 1958 to 1962. Then by the time the religious council took over, they kind of withdrew from that. So it's been going on. Matter of fact, like I said, in the whole Middle East, they have killed more Americans than any other country. One thing people don't realize about Iran, even though the war was fought in Iraq, it didn't take America that long to get that military victory. America got the most powerful military in the world. We know they ain't going to lose the war. But the question is about winning the peace. Because when you're in a region where people got this ulterior motive, where they see you like a problem for the whole world, they call you Satan, and they chant death to America and death to Israel, then you cannot win the minds and heart of those people. That's why the U.S. will always struggle with wars in the Middle East. But the main thing that happened during the negotiation was Iran say they are developing uranium for civilian purposes. That have always been a lie. Because since 2002, the IAEA, the International Atomic Agency, the people that monitor nuclear weapons, they said, no, Iran is very, they are very tricky when it comes to that nuclear program. Matter of fact, they won't even allow the IAEA or UN to inspect certain things. Matter of fact, they got on secret sites that they kind of putting together uranium or nuclear grade uranium to come up with a chemical bomb. So, what the Trump administration did a few days ago, the Trump administration said, you've been doing it in the past administration. You did it to Bush. You did it to even the Obama administration. You did it to Ronald Reagan. So we will make you an offer that you will never reject. Since you say you want nuclear fuels for civilian purposes, then we will supply you with all the fuel that you need to run your civilian nuclear program. Guess what? They rejected it because it had never been the intent. So the Trump administration say, okay, if we can get you the best offer on the table, because you say you're building nuclear weapon, or uranium for for civilian use, and you already set on the lake of oil. You got more power. You're one of the largest oil reserve on the planet. So why do you need nuclear energy for to say you want to go to nuclear? But if you want nuclear just in case for civilian purposes, then you don't have to fuel or uranium. We will just give you the fuel that you needed or that you would need for your civilian program, and then we'll give you constant supply. So when they rejected, the president was like, you know what, enough is enough. I'm not going to keep playing this game. So technically, you are just using this conference just to buy time while you are secretly building your weapon, and that was it. That's how this whole attack started. But one thing I want for my people to listen to and that to pick out of this whole Iran thing, we heard that tens of thousands of Iranians have been killed. It started in 2009 in the Green Revolution. They called Mousavi. In 2009, during the Arab Spring, they were killed, and that revolution was kind of hijacked and suppressed using the revolutionary guard in Iran. And we've been hearing people dying in the thousands, in the tens of thousands. And the Iranian people made an official plea to the U.S. government to intervene. And the president of America said, help is on the way. That's why he promised. We will send you help. Because one thing, Mabel, you can hate America all you want, but America, being a superpower, believe that it carries some moral obligation that when you threaten with the people, that's why I tell anybody around the world, when you want to remove a government, just go tell the government, tell the people of the world that we don't want this president. You are the one that can determine who is it. You could vote a president today democratically. If you want him out, you can get him out. Because you are the people with the one, you carry the most power. You can determine your own fate in terms of the democratic process. So when the people that put in power say we don't want you anymore, America is bound to enter illegally. Well, it'll be a military intervention or kind of a peaceful negotiation, but America will intervene. And the humanitarian part like that, America had no option but to start bombing and take out the Alatoria. That's the most important thing. So it's a message to the rest of the world that when you stand up against the government, I'm not saying I'm talking about political uprising, whether it's a protest or not. When you are consistent in your quest that you want your leader to leave, if he refuses to leave and he tries to use force, then the big boss around the world, whether it's European nations or Germany or France or the US, somebody will have to step in because the people say they don't want to. And that's what's happening in Iran at the moment. So there are so many moving parts.
Yeah, one of them, Mark, if I will ask you about the other situation, like for example, the oil business, especially the economy, what that means and so forth. But I come back to Brother Ali, what say you? In fact, you are not only fighting Israel and that of America, but they are almost like fighting the entire Middle East now because they are also battling their neighbors.
Oh, yes.
Because of, I don't know what they are thinking. But Brother Ali, what say you?
Maybe you see the problem with Iran. You know, you will not fight America. The only thing you will do is to go after their allies. That's all you can do. But one thing I believe, like if President Donald Trump had been the president of America, all this while where America been going into war, I don't think that those Americans that lost their life, American soldiers in Iraq, Afghanistan, all those things, I think it was going to happen. You know, President Donald Trump already make my weekend very, very beautiful. Yes. And I believe I'm going to have a beautiful week with happiness in Iran. Thanks to President Trump. Thanks to our women in arm of the U.S. Armed Forces. And we look forward. Because I'm coming, Mayborn. You see this man, like Venezuela president, even we the Democrat when we were in power, we were finding means how to get rid of him. 4 years, we couldn't. President Trump, he's very calculative. He's strategic. He knows how to play his game. And this is how you spend money on your national security. And they were able to do their work. And they didn't miss target. They got Venezuela president today. All the years they may be playing game with America, threatening America, other countries in the Middle East, in the world. It took 7 minutes to get him where he is today. And as he said, they are not going to stop till they meet their objectives. Our prayers are with President Trump and our men and women in arms to make sure that they bring peace in the Middle East and in the world. I'm very, very much proud of him. I'm happy where I'm here today. He made my weekend great. And I look forward to see more happening in Iran. Destroy all the nuclear weapon sites where they get all the chemical weapon whatsoever to make them to know America is the greatest country and the best military in the world. I'm very, very happy. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, my dear. But I mean, we'll go back to more, even though we'll come back to the economy of the situation, how some of the ships or the tankers or the fuel tankers are now moving in. But more, let's go back as to some of these things happen, and some will say been little time. Why would people want to defend and destroy? Like, for example, you are president, and instead of you maybe quote unquote focusing on your borders, you are now making or you are producing things that will move from your country up, like for example, all the way like Liberia facing a bomb that will fly from Liberia to South Africa. Is that protection? Well, let me ask you, why these people continue to treat our people in this form and manner? And at the end of the day, they will always buy time and they will always put it to some kind of thing and say, oh, the people they want to kill another group of people or they want to do this. But man, what say you? Why are we sometimes damaging the country resources and making people to go outside of the country to struggle while their country is rich and they are finding a way to come back on no way just because of dictatorship?
Well, that's it. When you like I said, you got a nation state principle, you got democratic principle. That's why in most countries people believe in secularism. Aliyu is a devoted Muslim. I'm a Christian. Somebody might be Baha'i, somebody might be a Buddhist. If you come to Liberia, we cannot make our laws based on religious teaching. It got to be based on the rule of law, secularism. That's why it is. Iran, like I say, was a great constitutional monarchy. There were more than 100,000 Jews that live in Iran. Matter of fact, when the Jewish people were escaping persecution after World War II, most of them stopped in Iran. That's why they had a big Jewish center in terms of the population distributed across the Middle East. Whether it was in Lebanon, whether it was in Iraq, Jewish people were all over the Middle East. They're almost like the way we can consider Maningo Point, Liberia. You can find them in Guinea, you can find the Hadri. Jewish people are business people, they are wanderers. They go all over the world, they establish businesses. So the entire Middle East, they were there. But when this old man came, this old man, maybe tomorrow we'll talk about it, about this religious sentiment and why. Because let me tell you something, Muslims are a particular group when it comes to religious affiliation. But into Islam, they are split into two, between Shia and Sunni. And the Shia seem to be the most radical of them all. So, like I keep saying, Iran was never an Islamic republic. No, Iran came from Persia. They were never. Matter of fact, they are not even part of the Arab League because they are not an Arab country. Maybe that's why you see now they got something called the Abraham Accord, where in America, Israel, and all the other Gulf Arab states, the Oman, the Bahrain, the Saudi Arabia, the UAE, the Jordan, they got that particular agreement. That's why you see Iran is retaliating, because Iran, their objective is to scratch their empire. Because I tell you, I said 2 out of every 10 Muslims is a Shia. The vast majority of the Islamic world, from North Africa all the way to the Middle East, they are all Sunnis. But this group they call the Shia, and Iran is the main one now. We will find them in Iran, you will see them in Iraq, you will see them in Lebanon, and you will see them in Syria. But guess what? They want to destabilize the entire Middle East and make life tough for the Sunni Arabs. That's why Iran supports rebel activity right beyond the Saudis' backyard with Yemen, with the Houthis rebel. That's why they support Hamas in the Gaza. That is why they support Hezbollah in Lebanon. Yeah. So they create a small pocket of resistance around all their neighbors. So just in case, when you threaten them in a conventional warfare, you have to worry about these small pockets of resistance around you, so it can weaken you. That's why the U.S. and Israel say, no, you can never have or nuclear weapon. Because nuclear weapon is very destructive. At least when country and country is threatened, we can minimize it. But when it falls into the hands of terrorists, because terrorists are not in uniform, they are not operational, I mean, you cannot track it. This is where the problem is coming from. And you know, one thing I keep monitoring, but the whole thing I like, the people themselves need to stand up. Because this man who 86-year-old that just died, this man ran this country for more than 35 years. And the Middle East had never known peace since the Islamic Revolution came in Iran in 1979. It's just been going down the drain. Remember, when you see pictures from Iran during the mid to the early 70s, you won't even believe that Iran, you think that's
but even to the extent among 37, they have to change, or in fact, they have to change the people flag. There's a symbol or something there, the lion and the sun, to another thing. I don't know why would they even behave in that way, man. Well,
that's it.
What's when they just start to change things?
Because, like I said, he came with a religious view. That's why I tell people, my brother, you can practice religion. Religion is like a vehicle. Spirituality is your destiny. And we all trying to understand this figure they call God. And we got different interpretations. That's why you got different religions. You got Christian, you got Muslim, you got Buddhists, you got Hindus, you got Jews. Everybody got a different interpretation of God. But when you focus on religions too much, when you become obsessed with religion, you will tend to a terrorist. Because first of all, you will lose track of the men who you are trying to understand, because God never created a single religion on this planet. Every religion on planet came about because of man. And the whole objective of spirituality is to get to know and understand God, not to understand man. You see the problem can come from? So when you come to government and you want to use your religious idea to make laws, then you will run into problem. Because we all confused looking for this one God, trying to understand him. And we cannot use, like I said, religious knowledge or religious sentiment to set in place state laws. And that's where the problem is. And that's why I posted, I say, America always get it wrong when it comes to this. You were negotiating, and all your negotiations were based on politics and geopolitics. But this man is looking at it from a religious standpoint. The man said it's his duty that God told him to destroy America and Israel. He's been doing it for the past 40 years. So what make you think you will get a better deal by negotiating with him? It's almost like you're trying to put square pegs in round hole. You're talking about politics, they've been talking about religion. They're two different things. And that's why
that's the thing, Mark. That even got me confused. But again, we will come back to Brother Ali. But let me ask you this question, because this is interesting. Like, because you brought in this issue of religion and the late Supreme Leader, that how today he in fact he became widely known, and in fact that how he also got into that position. But more, even had precedent, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Then how come the religious people or the quote-unquote supreme and that entire group of people, how come they are ruling the country the way they want to? What's going on?
Because it's a theocracy. The president is there in name only, even though they claim to have a parliament, but they don't go by parliamentary laws. Because in the Iran power structure, the supreme leader is next to God. So it means God comes first and he's second. So whether you got prime minister or whether you got president, they are worthless. They are there in name only. They are not the one calling the shot for the state. The supreme leader is the one who wars our laws and final. All he does is he have a religious council. They call it mullahs. All five of them. They go into a room. They make a decision. The president just there. The will go. He's just there in name only, but he's not the one running the show. So if you have a man who believes, when I look, I read about the old man of philosophy. I think the papa is a complete. He's a nut job. This man believe in something they call, there is a secret text they call the 12 law, the 12th Imam. He believed that according to Shia Islam, there will be a messianic a figure that will come at the end of the war to impose Islam on the rest of the world. And he will be the one to usher those 12 Imam in, because according to him, he next to God. So he established a theocracy. That is why the people that have been knowing a country for hundreds and thousands of years, they cannot stand it, because there's not something that they used to. It was something that was imposed on them. Like I said, they are Persia. They came from Persian Empire, from Cyrus the Great to Darius and all the old kings. Matter of fact, they used to live side by side with all your Iranian neighbors. Let me tell you something. When you go back in history, even from biblical terms, the Arabs and the Israelis, they are cousins. They are descendant, right, of Ibrahim. That's why they call the three religion Abrahamic religion, because there are some differences, but we are still similar one way or another because we are all descendants of Abraham. Okay. At a certain point in time, the Jews and the Arab, they fought together to defeat the barbarians. So the Palestinians and the Israelis, they are just one family. But who brought the division? The same so-called Alatoya. Every problem, even Hezbollah now, you go to Lebanon have a legitimate government, but what he did, he pumped money into Lebanon until the country is divided into two. You got terrorists that form a majority of the part of the parliament versus their own government. So, like I said, every single problem in the Middle East, you don't have to love America or foreign policy, but the reality is the reality. You go to Iraq, it was Iran. You go to Hamas, it's the same Iran. You go to Hezbollah, it's Iran. You go to Houthis, it's Iran. So, like, you know what? Nobody want to get into war, but at a certain point in time, when too much is too much, somebody must take the stand and start the whole thing. Because at the end of the day, you got to kill the head of the snake before you stand any chance of getting peace in the Middle East. Once Iran exists without Alatoya and that supreme leadership, the Middle East will never know peace, and we have been vindicated for almost 47 years. It's now 1 day or 2 years. 47, almost half a century.
Wonderful, Brother Ali. What say you with the economy? Because I don't know what's going to happen in the next 4 to 5 weeks, according to President Donald Trump, that this operation will last for the next 4 to 5 weeks. And what's going to happen? Because from all indications, Iran is saying that they're not going to bow down. In fact, they're not going to negotiate. So we don't know yet exactly as to what's going to happen in a few days.
Maybe that is it. Like the question you were asking, why I say people will be taking money to be building weapons that will go 100 million miles away instead of using that money to develop that country and give that people a better living. If you know you are doing the wrong thing and you don't want people to come after you, that's the time you will be doing this kind of thing. Okay. But I believe and I know, I think with what is happening now in Iran, all this nonsense coming to stop in the Middle East. Other countries now, because Iran have been the one funding most of those terrorist groups around the world, and this is where they were depending on. Oh yes, and today, if their head is gone, even if they will stay hardy that Ayatollah or whatsoever, you that will come there as head, I think that will serve as precedent. You will know what to do. Because like the question you asked, Masai, I've been confused. Why is it Iran have a president, but then this man been spearheading everything in the country, like he the law and gospel? It's almost like today Netanyahu. Israel have a president, but Netanyahu, he's just spearheading everything. I can't understand what's happening, but that's how their own country are.
Yeah, they are a parliamentary system, so the prime minister is more powerful than the president.
More powerful than the president. And this is how the old men were. So now, if their next leader that will succeed him, he had to be very careful, because they will know that America is trying to get rid of this foolishness they've been doing. Chemical weapon, you want to be threatening America, you be threatening other country, other world leaders, because you feel like, oh yes, you get nuclear weapon, you get this, you get that. Like I said, if President Trump had been president, all the war America been going into, America were not going to die like that. Because just imagine from last year, June, all the years, decades, they've been doing this thing. Just from June of 2025 to February 1st, where is he today? Less than a year. They are taking him from the face of the eye. So President Trump, he know how to play with the Democrat. We are there. Oh, Congress was to approve this. Congress was to do this. He didn't follow the other diplomacy. That the same diplomacy you have been following this nonsense been happening all along. Sometimes you have to bring some security protocol. Thank you, President Trump. Let's move ahead.
But maybe, you know, they are ups and downs when you go to war, right? And when you go to war, just know that these three major or the four major powers, the European Union, America, China, and Russia, they still got a hand to play in it. Because every war carries a business aspect and an economic leverage. I sent you a picture. I don't know if you can put on the screen, something on a map. There is something that's very strategic on that map. I think I gave you a look in your inbox. There is in the Persian Gulf, 30% of the world energy or oil, natural gas, and fuel come from the Middle East because they all depend on oil. So from Bahrain to Qatar to Iraq to Kuwait to Iran, they export oil. But there's a choke point on our map. They call the Strait of Hormuz. Right? When you look at the map there, in your inbox, I put in your messenger. When you look at that map, now we put on the screen so people can see it if you can. Put it in your messenger. It's a little map with blue and yellow color on it. You see what I'm talking about there. It's a choke point. Choke points are very important in geopolitical warfare because everybody want to control supply. Then you can determine the map over there. That little tight spot you see in a curvy area, that's the Persian Gulf, and you got to come out of that particular area to get into the Arabian Sea before you can enter into the Indian Ocean to supply all over the world. So the one thing people should expect, gasoline price is going to increase because whenever you have war happening in the Middle East, it's going to disrupt the flow of energy supply. And you can see Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia on the map, UAE, Oman, all of them depend on oil. But guess where that particular Strait of Hormuz is? Right in the middle of Iran. So what Iran did, they want to try to control the flow of oil because at the end of the day, they believe they will generate, when oil prices go up, who you think will benefit the most? The countries that are exporting oil. So even though we are fighting war, but it's still considered to be profitable. And here's the thing too. The other side of it, China. China just signed a contract with Iran for $400 billion to get 25 years of stable energy supply from Iran. 25-year contract. $400 billion is close to $500 billion. And now, if America believes that her oil supply, because if you give China that deal, they will also have influence in the Middle East and they will be able to control that Strait of Hormuz. You think America, because energy is the lifeblood of any economy in the world, when you want to threaten a country, you threaten your energy supply because the whole economy rests on energy. Everything that they use, all the factories, everything that you produce, it comes to energy. That's why the US dollar is pegged against oil. When you want to buy oil all over the world, you got to use a US dollar. So when you threaten America's strategic oil supply, because the main reason America has more base in the Middle East than any part of the world, they got to guarantee that oil supply. So Iran moving towards China to give China total leverage in that Middle East is something that America, you just saw what happened with Venezuela to right in our backyard. It was the same thing. America spent decades building their oil infrastructure, investing billions of dollars. But guess what? They wanted to turn it over to the Chinese and the Russian. And what happened with Maduro? I don't have to explain the story to you. And the second thing is the military aspect, Mabel. All the four major war powers, their number one export is arms and ammunition. They sell arms. Russia sell arms to her allies. China sell arms. America supply all her allies with F-17, F-22 jet, F-35, some of the latest technology when it comes to military or infrastructure. But you know what they will do? They use this smaller country to see how effective their weapons are too. Because if China was to manufacture a surface-to-air missile, they will not tell how effective it is until they can test it in war. So when smaller countries are fighting war, the bigger boys are just sitting and monitoring to see how well their ammunition are performing. So that when they go into a bigger conflict, they will know exactly what they need to do, where their strengths are. So 1 minute they say, oh, the Russians are sending 300 S-300 missiles to Iran. No, they want to use Iran as a testing site to see how effective that weapon is. Then they got something in Israel they call the Iron Dome that can intercept incoming ballistic missile. But why do you think America will give it to Israel and give it to Jordan and give it to Saudi Arabia? Because they know in the case of war, they want to know how effective that particular weapon is. So they are not only making profit, they are also testing this smaller country to see how effective their military weapons are. So you got to watch that too also. But anyway, I think we
yes, indeed. Yeah. So I don't know whether we can maybe chip you quickly on this speaker Wahala before we go for the news break. There's the latest video coming from, yes, I think from Mark. You don't want to send it to me, right? Let me see.
I sent it to you, but I think the first person I heard talking about that stuff, I heard about the lady. I didn't know who the lady was. Matter of fact, I didn't see her face in the video.
Yes,
But it was this guy that they call, that in Australia they call, I think, Will Devil. I know DEBO, yeah. I think he was the one that came on live camera and kind of made a case for this lady. So I think she owed him a great deal of gratitude too, because he was one of those that told the story in life.
You know, and that's the work of the media, though. Thanks to the team there, man. We really find out for this lady. Most of the stories about, you know, car or what thing she gave to the speaker, all kinds of things.
Yeah, money, yeah. I told you I was going to get my money. Yeah, I told you I was going to get my money.
Well, but Mark, we don't even have real time for this. But again, I know that we can just chip in a little bit in the next 3 minutes before going for the break. But Mark, what say you? Because the entire information was in fact circled around debt, and I know there was a vehicle that was given to the speaker that allegedly and he refused to pay. Or well, I don't hear any news. But you know, when you hear another news coming sometimes.
Oh yeah, we 24 hours.
Like that
You can't really concentrate on one news. It gets popping up all over the place. But you know, I don't know if we'll do it in 3 minutes. We're already 2 minutes. Maybe we'll not do it the first 5 minutes after the break. And I think
yes, indeed, you are right. Because I'm also getting report from Nigeria. In fact, this new now is training that a Nigerian pastor allegedly sodomized 19 years old Liberian boy to death. That's the latest news that we're also getting from Nigeria. So, more, you are quite correct. So we'll go for a break. But Aliu, we gotta go for a break for the news break, and we'll come back and we'll delve more into like what happening. Because Taiwan way of district number 9. I don't know. He said the yellow suit of his colleagues was disgraceful. Maybe
we read that post. Yeah, I saw you. I think, but this Sktv so tired when you late to the game. Yeah, you late.
It's very interesting day by day, but the way you said not too long more about the entire fight between Iran, Israel, and that of the US have some negative impact, especially when it comes to the economy. So those of you that are starting now to think, should I say more? I don't know, 24 hours now. Our government haven't said anything.
Oh, that one I'm telling our people. The only thing you can expect is because gasoline determines everything, transportation, how you move goods and services. So whenever gasoline price goes up, you know that every other basic commodity price will also increase. So just know that the war is happening in the Middle East, but it will hit your pocket right in Moravia there, because when prices increase in terms of transportation cost, then everybody will pay the bill indirectly. So just know what's coming. Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you. So let's go for the break, Monk and that brother Ali. Let's go for this break and we'll be right back. People, those of you who are watching, thank you so much for watching and keep watching. We are going for this break and we will be right back. Let me see this other stuff to play here quickly for those of you who are watching this video this morning myself. I came across this video. Let me see. This video interesting and I guess you enjoy it.
Up to now, like they treated just cheap. Yeah. We got no employment. No employment. We don't have what? We have work management, year to year management, everything to that floor.
So slippers. Everybody working slippers. Everybody. All the workers. No glove, no safety boots, no nose mask. Absolutely. Everybody.
So we are don't know when that
everybody.
We say we automatically deploy the indefinitely deploy. Just yesterday. What's the what's the current condition that we work on? Honestly, it is bad. Here we work, we don't have regular safety. We can make everyone be funny here. In this Yeah. What complete dust. Complete dust. Come and close our rooms. Because the friend of ours don't have yes, I can see us that's sometimes when it gives us I said it will every 6 months. But now when it grows Christmas we come here. Like for the lab we share that every transport. We invest about it here. My brother here, he will just tell you, like for example, in the system, you need someone to bring one person. Bring that person is good friendship. They matter when you work. You don't work, you don't matter. The company will say, investment company. Works here, that people are not aware of everything different from today. That people work here, but they don't get up to now. That they treated just with deep. Yeah. Uganda is not. No employment. We don't have what? We have work management from year to year, management, everything will last on the floor.
So slippers. Everybody working slippers. Everybody. All the workers. No glove, no safety boots, no nose mask. Absolutely. Everybody.
So we are don't know when that
Everybody.
we say we automatically deploy a heat definitely deploy. Just yesterday. Once the what's the current condition that we work on? Honestly, it is bad. Here we work, we don't have regular safety. Yeah, look at one you find here. The place we work now. Dust. Yeah. What complete dust. Complete dust. Come and close our rooms. I have to close my rooms. Because the friend of ours don't have yeah. Yes, I can see us that's sometimes when it gives us I said it will be every 6 months. But now when it grows Christmas we come here. Like for the lab we share that every transport. We invest about it here. My brother here, he will just tell you, like for example, in the system, you need someone to bring one. Company will say, company. Works here, you got people that know where everything people here, don't get up to now. I bet you get just keep. Yeah. You got any employment? No employment. We have work management from year to year, management, everything will last floor.
So slippers. Everybody working slippers. Everybody. All the workers. No glove, no safety boots, no nose mask. Absolutely. Everybody.
So we don't know when that
Everybody.
he said we automatically deploy the heat definitely deploy. Just yesterday. What's the issue? What's the current condition that been working? Honestly, it is bad. Here we work, we don't have regular safety. You can make your money be funny here. In this work now, dust. Yeah, what complete dust. Come and close our rooms. Because the friend of ours don't have. Yeah. Yes, I can see us. Sometimes when it gives us, I said it can be every 6 months. But now when the drug is not here, like for the lab, we share that everything is for. We invest about it here. My brother here, he just tell you that for example, in the system, you need someone to take one person. You that person is finish. They marry when you work. You don't work, they don't marry. The company will say, investment company. Works here, you got people that know where everything from today. You got people here, you don't get up to now. I bet you get just keep. Yeah. You got no employment? No employment. We don't have we have work management from year to year, management, everything will last floor.
So slippers. Everybody working slippers. Everybody. All the workers. No glove, no safety boots, no nose mask. Absolutely. Everybody.
So we don't know when that
Everybody.
he said we automatically deploy the heat definitely deploy. Just yesterday. What's the issue? What's the current condition that been working? Honestly, it is bad. Here we work, we don't have regular safety. You can make your money be funny here. In this work now, dust. Yeah, what complete dust. Come and close our rooms. Because the friend of ours don't have. Yes, I can see us. Sometimes when it gives us, I said it can be every 6 months. But now when the drug is not here, like for the lab, we share that everything is for. We invest about it here. My brother here, he just tell you that for example, in the system, you need someone to take one person. You that person is finish. They marry when you work. You don't work, you don't marry. The company will say, investment company. Works here, you got people that know where everything from today. You got people here, you don't get up to now. I bet you get just keep. Yeah. You got any employment? No employment. We have work management from year to year, management, everything will last floor.
So slippers. Everybody working slippers. Everybody. All the workers. No glove, no safety boots, no nose mask. Absolutely.
Well, we're back. Mark, but Aliu and other viewers, this viewer also listening to all via the radio. Yes, indeed, these are videos, these are trending national issues, things happening the day. The library is indeed sometimes, sometimes you don't want to go for break, but it's not easy. Omar, we're back, my dear brother. What say you with what of the happening? We're back with from the news break. We were on the former speaker and other national issues back home to talk about. Where are you?
Oh yeah, me bon. Excuse me. Welcome back. Oh, this issue about the former speaker and this lady, this one regime speaker, there are so many things around him, and this is why when you have a serious minor country, you can't get such a person ever in government. This one regime speaker, he called himself regime speaker. The one speaker a few months ago, another lady claiming, oh yes, uh, he's her wife, this my husband with the speaker, this and that. He don't want to divorce me. They see speaker coming out telling people the woman that his sister, and other people coming out to say, oh, that his sister. And so when you marry your own sister, And she was like, oh yes, that's my husband, we are legally married. And then they want speaker again, child support on him, another 14-year-old or child that was in 9th grade. He went away, born by her, the child in America, yeah, he abandoned that. This one speaker just a few days ago was seeing him on video, or Lele went to a house, enter his bedroom, him going to switch off light, this and that. She said she can't explain all that one, but all she wanted was her money. She gave him car, he refused to give her money. He went to a house and he wanted to do something to her. They once because you are married, another woman calling you her spouse. It just too much on the one speaker. Oh my God. But thank God the woman get her money. That is it, because that the money she went for allegedly when the speaker wanted to forcibly sleep with her according to what she said. So, well, I like to talk too much in those kind of things. But among that, that's our speak. That's Liberia speaker. He's
I like that. We don't talk too much.
Yeah, it gets like a waste of time, because that is where leadership comes in. Even if you and the man on the same team, you don't want a distraction. But that the old man you got, that is Mr. Wisdom, because the reason being, when you got a vision and you got a goal and you got important things to concentrate on in terms of priority, you don't want nobody coming out with side show, side distraction. We are talking about the 10 most powerful men in the country, the 10 men in command. And it's just one scandal after another. If it was in some serious country, his own colleague would have been calling for his resignation and looking for someone else to replace. Because it's nothing but a side show. And when I listened to Will or Deborah podcast, and he knew he had money for this lady. But in Liberia, when they're in a position of authority, they love to abuse common people. Because why would he want to pay now? Because he feels a speaker, he can flex his muscle. And the lady made a case that he had been behind him for more than a year, almost 2 years plus. The thing is, the value of the property you got into a transaction. Why would you not want to pay your fair share? Matter of fact, I don't understand most of these guys. Like what I keep saying, the people who claim to be, and there's a men that teachers at the university too.
Oh, yes.
Okay. You took this person property or their goods. You know the value. You agree to pay. You know your background and your reputation and your status in society. It put you at risk. Why would you even want to delay the payment? It's not that you cannot afford. Affordability is not your problem. So the question is, why would you not want to pay? Why you want to give her the run around for her money? Because where it will backfire on you.
Yeah, man, that's something in return, man.
And the same thing he did with the woman on the Davos business that brought that whole thing outside. Because if you were there to divorce her, all that other saga was that to come out. If you were to pay her money, all the other videos she go in your bedroom, some people abuse of power.
Like he want to do that law flexing power. He think he can use his position of authority to abuse people, and he want to impress upon them that, oh, I'm powerful, I will show you who I am. I think that's my only conclusion I can draw, because it's not one case, it's not two cases.
And so Mark, let's say allegedly maybe
if you listen to the insult that you were giving her, when you listen to the audio, yeah, he said it, we'll deal with you. Yes, he said it. So you were using your power to intimidate her and other things. You thought that she was going to draw by. Maybe they didn't listen to the audio. It's out there. He said it.
So let's say maybe allegedly maybe he wanted to have some fun with her and so I don't know what he was really thinking. He was thinking that maybe that after having the fun, or maybe another thing that he wanted to do with her, maybe that means she will wait for money, or maybe she will wait.
We are boyfriend. Yeah, we are boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, it's not even that. There's a possibility, but when you look at, like I said, the history is there. And when you are somebody with position and authority, you want to carry yourself in a whole different way, because at the end of the day, you can only become the victim. That's why you are a powerful man. So maybe he thought he could give her the run around in exchange for sex, because you want your money. I don't think she's the richest person in the world. She get her little business, she sell her car or whatsoever. She depends on the profit. So he thought maybe by holding that amount, and then maybe she was coming to give in, because at the end of the day, he could use, like I said, he believes he carries a name, he's a speaker, he's a 10 man in command, because affordability, like I said, is not an issue. He had the money to give. So the question is, why didn't you give her money? She had to come public.
And let's go back to Liberian businesses, Monk. Is it one of the other example? Can we not use this scenario maybe for why some of the reasons why our businesses continue to fall along the way, because of these people, their behavior, the way they abuse There's someone that will just take it, carry me anywhere you want to carry me.
Yeah,
Or
because
do
they believe
anything
that
you want
nowhere.
to do to me.
Carry me wherever you want to carry me.
That have been happening to so many business women in the country. So many people abuse them like that, abuse of power because they feel they are in authority. They will take your market, your thing, and sometimes not. Like even Prince too, and another lady came out on him how he used to take people going to a hotel representative. He couldn't pay and say 8,000 or how many thousand. Maybe somebody will call. Yeah, why people should be doing this thing? As a representative, you take you some other hotel, carry multiple women there, pay her that her business she doing, but she had to go after you. Go after she had to come publicly before. Why people don't respect that integrity and that?
Something also happened with the
man.
United Party former chairman, though. I mean, Muna also cried on that.
Yes, I mean Muna too. You see,
Bella Kata is one of the things that destroy his business too as well. People don't pay when they use your
there are so many women going through that. Yes. The person when
hearing the Kalama have been in business for as long as I've been knowing myself, if he's going to complain about this guy, then think about the regular business people. Because
it's scary, Mark.
You're doing your business. That's why the whole separate thing. I want the region businesses don't flourish. They just hint to more. The vast majority of businesses in Africa or Liberia, more specifically, I don't think they are doing it for profit. They can sit down, right? Because take for example, you got few inventory or few goods, right? Or merchandise, either way you want to call it. And you're waiting to sell that merchandise to get profit, to spend that profit again to go and get another good. Somebody come and take it, and they're taking you 1.5 years to pay your money. What kind of business? How will you succeed? How will your business grow? Because we're talking about car now, you got to spend thousands of dollars to get the inventory of the car. If somebody would take 1.5 years to refund your money or to pay for the product, how can you try? Because it means you must survive. So you eat into the capital already. We're talking about 1.5 or 2 years.
Well, yes, and more, this is not only unique only to the Liberian businesses, also to the other foreign business people. It's just that so many business people or so many foreign business people, sometimes they go to the bank to go and take loan. So sometimes they don't really feel it that way. But I think once upon a time there were supermarket owner that were complaining also about the supermarket breaking down because of government officials continue to credit and they don't want to pay. And let me tell you more, he said something. Some of our local vendors, in fact, some of our money teachers, they are in fact they are the direct veterans of some of these things that we're saying today. Because the money teacher, how much is into money teaching?
Why is the profit margin here in our business?
You will take $200, $300 for you guys, and you will never pay. And you will say, like, "Carry me now, what I want to carry me." Yeah, man.
It's a cultural thing, maybe we've been doing it for the longest. I can remember, I think it was around 97, 98 when I think it was a Luby Bank or Tradeco, one of those banks. I can remember one of those commercial banks. I was picking in high school, and they bomb my money. They settled me with the bomb my employees, right? Those people were giving check. And I think it was Luby Bank because I can remember Divan at the time was the Luby president, 97, 98, like that. And these people, the old men would come from all the way Bon country. Some of them come from other part of the country. They come for their little settlement money or their retirement or whatever they paid them after the war, because I think the Burman people paid them, I think, looking at their rate at the time before the war and after the war, some of them were entitled to some big checks. But those people kept walking. I used to see some old men on the street, right on Megan Street Hill. They are like, they even get carpet to go back home. Like, you got these people money. How long it would take the government to refund something that they're entitled to? They're just walking in that sun. Oh my God, I country.
And Mom, let me tell you,
man, a very long time, man.
I was playing something like video not too long, and someone were asking what going on. I think our Vama Mo, these people that you saw or the video that you saw, I just played was in fact people who working on I don't know with a money company.
Yes.
Just imagine those.
Where that video? Where you capture that video from? So wow.
People working with money company. See how they dress. See how they look. Like people that are already into slavery. They say, okay, mama, will come and hang up you people. Look at work. See workforce.
Maybe my game, I keep telling you something, maybe when you are in extreme poverty, it will make you to compromise on your own health and your own safety just because you want food to eat. That's just human basic survival instinct. That's why you got labor ministry. That's why you got training, health and hazard training. you need something they call personal protective equipment. You are working with cement, you're working with steel. When you die from lung cancer, they say, oh, the Ouija man. No, you're talking about a construction company. You even get a steel toe boot. You even got gloves. You don't have mark. Maybe, do you know the chemical that is part of cement? The cement that you can open, you know the chemical they use to make cement? It's a lung killer. It will kill you in the it's as dangerous as asbestos when it comes to lung cancer, just from inhaling it. And these men don't even have basic nose masks to protect them. And that place look dusty and it is slippery. Can you imagine? So, and when you work with you need something they call a hard hat, because anything can fall. We're talking about construction, bro. Look at that picture. Look at those men. Not even of gloves. So what make you think when you get injured, someone will even come to build you up? It means you will be a dead person. No, because if the company cannot get you gloves, what make you think they will take care of you for health reason? If you get injured or if you die.
Your labor minister, your labor inspector will go there. They will see our people being treated like this, and all they do is to collect that envelope and come. Because why? They feel, oh, the people here, you're working, you know what? They will take care of you. They say that you get bare. They feel getting that envelope, they go home. And that will be that eating spot. And anytime they can, why you're treating our people like this? We will take the other action. Okay, you know what? They get the envelope. That will be that chopping spot. You can't tell me labor inspector don't know about our brothers being treated like this. They know, but that have become their own eating spot. We work in Liberia. We know how we're treated. We know how it can happen, and that is some of it there.
But Aliu, let some of the companies said they are wicked, right? If you get men that work for you in your construction company, you get a big contract, you got a huge concession or whatsoever it is. How much it will cost you to buy a nose mask and just a latex gloves? Let's just assume that the labor ministry, they are not enforcing laws on the books when it comes to personal protective equipment or safety equipment. If someone works for you on a construction site, if you're a corporation or company, you don't have the common sense to know that these men should be wearing hard hat, because anything can fall, whether it's a steel, whether it's a block, or whether it's a plywood, because it's construction. So it means the risk for safety is very high over there. You could die on that site. You telling me I need someone from the labor ministry to come and tell me, say, oh, I should buy gloves for my employee? I don't think so. No. So even though our people are useless in terms of our public official, but even some of these companies, they are harmless too.
But Monk, that's the problem. You know, most of these companies, when the people go back to the country and they just feel like, oh yeah, looking at all they say, the people they already suffering, and we hear, and then some of them they will be good among them, but some of them they will be very heartless. And now, if you now as a labor inspector, you have to go to such a place, you expect Monk be or CEO or general manager of that company at least to get human feeding. But you go there, you see your people looking like that. What did you do? What will you do? But when they go, they see our people looking like that, they use that situation to intimidate them, to exploit them, to take money from them. And in that, now the man will say, okay, yeah, anytime when they can like get money, I can get.
Yeah.
But safety should be your first priority. You see? But that's
because the thing, Aliu.
Kick back.
Aliu, here's the thing, right? Because let's assume you get 50 employees. If I'm going to buy them or hard hat and steel boots and masks and latest gloves, right? If we look at the penalty for not following safety procedure, I think the fine alone will be expensive than even buying the equipment.
Sure.
Because I don't think it will cost the company that much just to buy personal safety equipment. But like you said something right, we can blame in somebody got good, but it is the duty of the inspector from the labor ministry to enforce this law and fund these companies. But when you compromise everything, then the people will be like, okay, we don't care. If they can't even just see after their own people, then who are we to even say consider the human feeling? Because I know if you are to buy guys, construction hats, steel toe boots, masks, and gloves, I don't think it will cost you that much in terms of operating expense. But why is it that our own inspectors, when it comes to labor practices and law and safety, why would they want to ignore that and put people's life at risk? I don't get it.
There were, from the beginning of the show, when you and myself started with the issue of the Chinese engineers, Chinese this, Chinese that, Chinese this. Mom, tell me for God's sake, if you check these, in fact, the Chinese, the other people who claim, quote unquote, to be engineers and money people, in fact, who claim that maybe they are far educated than these people, well, they pay them huge sum of money they go for lunch, they go for everything that they think that they go for. But more, you sell everything. At the end of the day, the reason why some of it is not happening is because these people, when they are coming here in Africa, the mindset they have is these people that we are going to, they are not educated.
They are animals.
They are poor.
Thank you. They are this, they are that.
No, you're making a friends. They say they are animals.
Oh God.
Wesley, you say the people not care about their safety or well-being. All they care about is the little money they get. This is why if your government cannot prioritize youth employment to bring in companies to get their people job and to monitor these people, they know the way they are treated. But now, if they pay you $50 over there, you say, oh, the people can't give me hair glove, they can't give me safety boot, no helmet, so I will leave the job. Where are you going to get another $50?
You see?
Why are you so they will just be there and wasting their life?
Aliu, one important aspect of making this argument, right? It tells you about the companies and the so-called investors that are coming to Liberia. Because I know of any reputable investor when it comes to construction, if you are a worker, if he cannot see you with safety equipment, he not even come in the job site because he know it will reflect negatively on his company. So it's not only about enforcement, but I'm talking about a real company, right?
Yes.
If you know the kind of a risk or construction workers on go, do you think you want to wake up on a Monday morning, you go on your job site and some guy that work for you coming with slipper, you think you were even letting to come on the company premise? No, because you know what safety is. So how is it that the people who got these so-called companies can let these men to work in such a condition? It's beyond imagination.
This is where I came up with this something I always say, or safety had no chain of command. When we were building the factory in Greke Makate Kinjo, the company that I was working with as material controller, grew fast structure and ingenuity from South Africa. These people, they don't even sell one for any other worker for something set to juke you because they feel to themselves it will go on their safety record that will embarrass them for gaining contract other part of the world. They will say, oh, when you went Liberia, your safety. Oh yeah, how was it looking? The looking at the hazard that occur on your site. All of these things. So the people used to make sure you are well PPE before you get on the field there. And we have safety inspector everywhere on the site. Simple mistake, you take all your Google, your glasses, step on your face. It's a problem for you. They will send you home for that day. Group 5 safety was very hard, more than Beer Mountain, which is a smaller company, because it will go on your company record. But when we bring those junk in the country, anywhere, man, we say that money, man, this is what we get. That's it.
Or even coming, but Ali with a ZNC investment. Can you imagine, ZNC investment company? Which investment to go do money? If you get in a class B money lesson for people to go take your own research, they call it ZNB investment. What kind of investment are they doing, Monk?
What kind
of country is this? ZNC. Can you imagine things that can happen in this people country? That what can happen right here in Liberia? Carrying your Airbnb in.
You even got license to do business in China.
Never.
It's how we see ourselves, my brother. What the problem? This one part is a structural problem. It's been there forever. Especially with this modern generation, like it's just the norm. And that's how people will treat you the way you treat your people. When you don't have respect for your own people, so what make you think a Chinese man so China, even though they are a developing country, they are not all that developed. They got some prehistoric area too in China that live in total poverty too. So when the Chinese man come to your country and see how you treat your people, most definitely he will do the same thing. So it depends on the name of the company.
But what are you talking about? Oh, the company should be able to do better. They will not do better because the reason that is our own people here already, the people outside there from the Western world, they already have that mindset about us Africans. Then when they come here, instead of our leaders doing better, all they care about is what they can get, the kickbacks. See the kind of thing. See the kind of thing that your people are going to.
Company. Can't see many get it on the ground.
Father, husband, white slipper on the ZNC.
That goes to the line, my brother. I said the company will give you headache. It will give you high blood pressure.
Yeah, man. What? Hello to this fuck caller. Good evening.
Good evening. Good afternoon.
Yeah, my attention went to ATC or radio phone. On this phone, a radio phone is a speaker of the frequency that's nature. It means that body, God knows that it's like any longer. Because you know, people, you cannot be the same for powerful man in this country when you got your bunch or your beef or your angle. Every other time, there will be one team cover right there behind his speaker. And look at him, though. The guy don't want to get rid of it. They are keeping it there. And we are seeing La Brother now, Steve Corey. La Brother, Steve Corey, but we don't have people in as a religion. This is why British is doing all that he's doing, and he's sitting there as speaker. For me, I got no respect for British any longer because he's a man who came on sexual harassment. You always come around there to winning.
Thank you. The men are social speakers sometimes too. You gotta understand social terrain and so forth. 077020312. That's the number to call this evening and be part of the SKTV show. Hello to this caller. Good evening. Hello, my dear. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Duke. I'm calling from Ralphie Harris. You know, like what people are discussing, there's two discussions to some of us. For me now, when we were talking, just a few weeks ago, I call it National came and told us that they want us to be with them. They have not bring the phone to us, they just need to do their awareness. Our boss men today, they say, they start putting laptop or what will not get article, we are not even so informed. They start putting laptop money for us.
Okay.
You see, these are one of the things, they can be so frustrated. Our food Nigeria one, sometimes they use their 8 hour or they use their supervisor. They are the one that can be the one to start the corruption and the marketing on the record. These people, they can't just do the wicked for our food Nigeria. Our own people, they are the one that teach the people how to do wickedness.
Oh, yes. That one I agree with you.
It's too frustrating.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much for being part of this caller. Good evening. Hello.
Yeah, thank you, Mabon. Let me say the pleasure good evening to you. Good evening to the panel. My name is Hussein. I'm Hussein Kim, but I'm in the traffic.
Okay, go ahead, Hussein.
Following the show religiously, my concern is drawn to the issue of the lawmaker, more especially people, talking about the leadership of Representative Richard Coons, Speaker Coons. It's quite disappointing that the opposition these days are not sure, more especially the CDC. Therefore, you have 80% of the representatives are opposition lawmakers, more especially on the CDC. What is the question is dominated by CDC lawmakers. They cannot muster the courage to represent their party and the country at large. But when I listen to them,
because they are spineless.
Hello.
They are spineless lawmaker.
Hello.
I'm following.
Yeah, don't call other people name. They go to Richard Kun Wahala that we're discussing. Forget about the one another. They already cross over. And most of them cross over the other places, people to place to place.
That's the problem.
So don't not forget about that one now. I agree with you that some of them.
I agree with you.
But some of them now they already finish crossing over. So that one that some of them are no more division. They will be saying, hello. Yeah. But I want to tell you that Sir Joseph, where is Sir Joseph now? We're not talking about the party. I'm asking where is Sir Joseph? My man, you can bring sweet conversation, but then you won't be defending things. I'm asking. Sir Joseph was with CDC 100%, but then he left. Oh, okay. So you now want to be hello to this caller. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you,
yeah, it just won't come be, that's a tactic that they have.
You won't do a class.
You don't come and jump in CDC and you're probably better while calling out again. They will say, yeah, maybe I can cut people off, and that's the thing, man.
Regimes because already. So why we want to see about your country? I'm not telling you. You see this country here. I think I have thought after the war we are going to get trusteeship in this country here.
Hello?
Yeah, my brother, listening to you, Chief.
Actually, we're going to have a trusteeship in this country.
Yes, Morgan Massa, in fact, we will talk about that trusteeship could have been far better.
For 10 years or 25 years before, turning the country to us. But nothing. People are not doing anything. Look at how the world you have to say, even if we are not even 9 or 10. People are doing things, so plugging figure in their friends and do you imagine? A government that we're depending on, you see the kind of situation we're in. So, the thing I'm talking about here, we're not going to talk.
All right, Chief.
But we are not listening to you.
All right. Thank you. We're talking about things affecting our people. Nobody got time for you. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Peter the Big come from another street like in Lower Johnsonville. It was so good that you could create a checkpoint and to the other color. Yesterday, we were talking about city, a unity party lawmaker.
What's your intimate message, man?
About CDC, my brother, if you have to accept the result, your government has testimony performed. There's no lawmaker like this. Your testimony and your in-court competency too. It is just like you must work out your cabinet ministers that you have brought into power. Don't forget this lawmaker. We are not going to bow down to that kind of a trivial issue. And last, I think Richard went to complete the field and to the House of Legislature and that of the Iran society. Because if they are in control of state resources and at the epicenter of government, to have that kind of in a bad repetition, it's not my side. And these are things that can make our international partner to take a very stringent measure against the Liberian society.
All right. Thank you to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, neighbor.
Yes, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, thank you very much, neighbor. Thank you. Let me say many things for our panelists in the neighbor. Let me today speak to the quite people of this topic. I will assist the doctor. I'm out there this time you for community of Nigeria to someone president leader. Neighbor, you see, the issue you are talking about is little. Therefore, let me say many things to America and Donald Trump for taking a full step. Therefore, you see some of all we are not Muslims. But there are some of our Muslim brothers that can live for here and go in for Africa to go pray. And it's not the offer I want to believe that for everybody for the war. But one country can never be in a Middle East where some of our brothers can go to pray and can be threatening the whole of Middle East. There's all kind of terrible group there. One of people leave to go pray with worry about this. It was that fun. So let me say many things to America. They see a Muslim, they are very problem for the Muslim religion. It's that fun. They are a problem for us. Let me say many things to Donald Trump and America.
All right, thank you, you two, for your participation. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, neighbor. I'm Harry Johnson, going from school, the chairman for a concern like Brother Justice. You see, I don't know why when people be talking about this, because it can help me. Because just for them, we told people that they were not going to be a good person for that position. There are some positions that you got to look at the person before you really give it to them. Even if you never wanted for a video or to pass, the person is still allowed to reject me. See the kind of schema that many are in. They want to wear yellow suit, get a minister. You are a president, you can stay there, Mendy, the president, you can stay there, Mendy. The mayor position is never wear yellow suit to go far, really speak. But you the speaker of the world. The most powerful person in the country. You are a deputy, please let your boss. You have put yellow pass on your yellow people, more than the men like a big person, or you can call bad chairs on the street. They have come your cousin who knows they have wasted a big machine. Then you have level, the president and his minister there, he's doing their level, the vice president and the senator and he's doing their work. Hey, you come out to the country there. Well, we have been bleed all and the mayor was there. And we just speak on the or. So there will be no check and balance. The country is all down the street because we're going to speak on with God. We will not get nothing from the country here. Thank you, brother.
All right, keep the calls coming. We'll take a few more calls, then we'll cross over to our team so that we'll be able to close on today, the Monday, March 2nd. In fact, the 2 of March, we're already into the 10th month in the year 2026, and so many things happening. Yes, indeed, keep the calls coming. 0770-203125. Yes, indeed, and I have to say on your leaders and the thing that we are talking about here today. Look, let me tell you, when it comes to the issue of how people treat us in this country, it affects all of us, which position you find yourself in. For me, I don't come here to come and do your normal politics. It's up to you. Who you want to vote for, who you want to support through your life, it's up to you. I will not stop you. Today's caller, yeah, good evening.
Yes, my name is Emmanuel Doya, and I call from Novia.
Yes, go ahead, my brother.
I just tuned in to a discussion. I don't know the topic, but I have a burning concern regarding the issue with the health ministry of Liberia.
Okay, what happened in Tell quickly? Maybe we don't know.
The health ministry of Liberia, I was assigned in my company as a finance officer for the health team, for the county health team. And the CHO, the dead CHO and administrator got involved with massive corruption, mismanagement of funds and materials intended for the health system. And because of our stance against it, the current administrator of the health ministry have deleted my name from the payroll and suspended for time indefinite because of my stance against corruption. This is an issue that I've written the current health minister that I released photo on 3 different occasions, of which I have all of the copies with me. And they are doing nothing about it. They are defending the central administrator of the health ministry is the one defending those people that committed fraud against the health interest of the people of my and Liberia. So what is the fiscal prudence that we'll be discussing here? It's an issue. I've discussed it from 2023 of the current.
Wow. All right.
It's an issue. I've written the minister, I've engaged him on several occasions, and the controller called me and said that because of your stand against this thing, we will send you to a place that you will regret going there. And it did. And they asked me to go to Tribal Health Center as an accountant when I was controlling an entire country on the basis of my stand against corruption.
All right, my brother. Thank you. Thank you so much. Today's caller quickly.
That man need to find time and come on the show as a guest.
Yeah. You got to come here and come and explain all of your allegations. Fun time, my brother. Maybe between Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday will be okay for you. You call me after the show. You come on the show, bring all of your evidence, everything that you think you have, so that yes, indeed. Because what you are saying, my brother, that this I think we keep saying. Lack of system, people be threatening people just because a little job they pay you 150. Even 75, 80, 90, horse keep job and all. Now they paying people 50 that they will be insulting people back to back. Nothing doing. No system and people that they come to find ourselves in. Hello? Today's caller, good evening. I'm okay. Thank God for life. Go ahead, brother.
Wow, they're monitoring you guys this afternoon concerning the issue of the Chinese construction company. I don't have, again, our workers, our brothers, something of application. Therefore, what I want you to understand, the team being in the Liberia ever since. When my father was working with fasting, when the people bring the books, what the people do, people do, so not give it to the people. People will fall down with the data. So there will no boots for the workers. There will no glove. They need to get everything they call ammonia. The one they can put in the data to make it fresh and send it to for the country. There will nothing there. Most of the time, those things to fall down, they buy to fall in the workers almost all the time. They let most of them blind and other things. So that they see in that bad fish in the bureau. Let's be honest. The people wouldn't want us to put in the country.
Yes.
So do you know that right now in the bureau they are meter sorted? Almost everybody in the bureau now even also start buying for meter. The feeding of meter now go up. They are meter sorted.
Indeed, and you say something though. I just been seeing if they put your cutting wires here and there. If I put your posting it.
Almost everybody in my community says we are applying here that meter sorted for me that meter. So the government official that meter. So they wouldn't want to vote for them. So what are they doing? Why are they doing it?
Thank you. Oh, that means you gotta be careful with your method, though, because when they carry, because well, we gotta go here. But again, my people, that's the country for us. Mark, and a lot of other Ali. It's not easy. Our people actually on a very serious note. The same way they are crediting and they are not paying. And the same way they allow the foreign people to be using our people as slaves. Let me no. I don't even know what will happen in this country. What do you know about happiness, or we just managing with life? Well, you can carry on for the day.
That's why I say if you worry, Ali, go ahead. Because you worry, you get it.
Thanks to the callers. Thanks to the callers. Thanks to those in the comment section. We think you can start a thing good, then you spoil it. Like those lawmakers, you always say, oh, CDC get a majority lawmaker. When you go to Senate, these are a bunch of spineless people. They are not opposition. If they will sit in our country as opposition lawmaker, and all the bills, all the concession, everything Joseph Boakai, and this is why I always say, if Joseph Boakai had the vision to move that country forward, if he had a plan, then he had carried that country forward in terms of development, job creation, and other things. Because you have opposition lawmakers, anything you bring to the floor, it pass. Nobody there to push back. When you go to the Senate, the city, no push back. So don't be talking about these people. Like Maybon said, most of them have crossed over. So don't consider them don't even now check the CDC lawmaker in the house. Those that enter, those that cross over, those that left with CDC. So don't be bringing that other argument here. That's Liberia for us. And again, I'm in prayer with my military men and women that are going out there to make sure they bring peace and stability in Iran, to destroy all the nuclear and chemical weapon sites in Iran, so that the world cannot be threatened and intimidated by the Iranians. We are in prayer with you. Thank you, President Trump. Like you said, it was supposed to be 4 to 5 weeks. I just listened to you, but it will be more than that. We pray for our people's safety out there. Do what you can do to bring peace in the Middle East and in the world. Thank you. See you guys tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, you know why it can be so frustrating when you talk about the fundamental issues facing the country and people come with a unity party and CDC thing, the El Clasico. And you would think that our people already know the problem. They know exactly what happened in the country. They are direct victims of this problem. And you will be thinking by now, they will start thinking in a whole different way, how we can rectify the mistake that we have made to make progress. And the very first thing will be a political response. With the same people that keep causing the same problem. That's something I cannot get over. I don't know what's happening in that country or how people are thinking. Because the other time talking about people dying and people die with a lot of chemicals. We're talking about this thing. So it means everything in the country is fundamentally broken down. And some of these problems, they are old age problems. They're not even recent. Like the abuse of power. People believe that the imposition of power, they can abuse business. But these things been happening forever. So you would think in any normal society, the people will be thinking about, okay, we know exactly what happened, but how can we fix this problem? What we need to do differently that will change this narrative for us. But the very first reaction you will get, my brother, how many people or how many lawmakers, the other party, unity, like, are you kidding me? Look, Mavon, it's so sad, and we got more than a long way to go. Like
and that's the point there, Mark. When you call here, or in fact, when you talk about a lot of things that are affecting our people, as soon as you have to open the line, you say, boy, it happens 50 times. Yeah, man.
So it's justifiable. So if there was no, if he's telling you that if there were no safety measure put in place during CDC government, he should go to a construction site with either hard or steel too, because it happened with the other party. Are you kidding me? Are you telling me that the politics is going to override your common sense, even at your own detriment, at your own expense?
And more to that corner that also talk about the party, the politics. Let me be frank with you, my brother. I told Mona from the beginning, I think I was 2024, I told him, I said, lawmakers, changing lawmakers here, it's just a waste of time. I told him, and today, more second made a yes. Because most of the people at the end of the day can't, more can imagine, among a lawmaker, another lawmaker who or little bit slim, small in size or in structure. He foundation number 3, he won as independent candidate. Monk. But today, where is he today? He's in yellow.
Can you imagine you want an independent and you in yellow? Yeah. And I write out a time when we just review it because we came up with our original idea and he just re-echoed everything that we say on the show. But we'll get to it tomorrow and hopefully we'll see what we can do. And
thank you, my dear brother. Thank you so much. So to all of our viewers, our listeners, thanks to all of you. Look, some of you more than even love Liberia more than some of you. But you all not know because you have the party emblem, the party, the all waiting on your faces. So you don't see the love. But for us, we don't want to think Liberia, love Liberia, and thinking about building Liberia because the only way that you can build a system, you got to revamp the system. You got to look at the system, the thing the Chinese people can do here. Some of you are not following these people laws. They don't do it in their home. The thing they can do to you here, they don't do it in their home. But for us here, they can do anything they want to do to us and go scot-free. They can come and do anything job because they give 6 months scholarship. You know, oh yeah, I'm going to challenge for scholarship. At the end of the day, how many months? 3 months, 6 months. You come back. What you learn from there? Nothing. But again, more thank you all of you, and we see.
Thanks, folks. We'll do it again tomorrow. Sktv. Stay tuned.
Thank you, my dear brother.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The project is giving us here the premise of them. The work with my life without again.
A lyrical health.
Master.
Clear body, so I can't ask Sktv-Lib. C'est ma chenille, tina ke ase ma yamo. Engi sano muni, emu aye yo. Engi lofa mui, emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Masorada, Lofa, and Grandbaza.
Ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Nigeria ya tumale, Sktv, ena Nigeria, tosi wako maya tumale.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Masorada, Lopa, and Grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Monserrat, Sano to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.